We have a show to do today.
The whole new acronym thing drives me effing bananas. Can we call him by his name?
Felger and Mazz on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Lewis, you know I love math. New England Patriots plus A.J. Brown equals?
Look, I think they get back to the AFC title game. I really do, because I think A.J. Brown's going to have the best season of his career. I think he'll be a 1,500-yard receiver this year. Look, it's going to be in Mike Vrabel's best interest, considering how much he has put into this young man at the previous stop in Tennessee and how much you know that there were always rumors circulating around the fact that he wanted him in New England. When you are motivated to then see this thing through to the end and see this young man go ahead and thrive in your system, and when you hear A.J. Brown talk, look, there's something to coming into a workplace, right? And you are like looking around going, I love where I'm at.
Right.
That can take. He talked about there's levels to it. That's what he's talking about. This guy's already done enough to say, look, he's one of the best that we've seen play this position. He's going to level it up a notch here, and he's with one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
Catch us on the simulcast on NBC Sports Boston, where we beam across New England and the country on a regular basis. That's brought to you by Supercuts Real Smart. Here you can catch us anytime, anywhere. On the app and on the web, 985thesportshub.com, and our fine app product. Mazz and Murray alongside. How you guys doing?
Hi, Mike.
Good, hi.
Louis Riddick has the Patriots in the AFC title game and A.J. Brown with 1,500 yards. Does this immediately put Louis Riddick in the camp of keep it in your pants?
Definitely, yeah. I think he's now participating in the All-Pro Patriots tailgate, for crying out loud, is what I think that is. Holy crap. So, look, can we pump the brakes? I am still, and this is not a just, you guys hate everything, you're being a contrarian. No, I'm not. I have concerns about A.J. Brown. I do. His play was slipping at the end of last year. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that, and I'm not telling you he sucks. I'm just telling you I don't know if he's a great player anymore. And so we'll see what happens. But slow down. Would you slow down? The schedule's going to be tough. You're not going to have a horseshoe stuck up your ass the whole year like you did a year ago. It's going to be a much more challenging schedule and a much more challenging task. You're not going to sneak up on people anymore. And I also think people have gotten a look at the Patriots' defense. And I don't know, maybe they can continue to scheme it, but I thought they caught a lot of people off guard defensively last year, particularly in the playoffs. So I just don't think they're quite that good. I don't. I think last year they caught a lot of breaks. They're good. They're not bad. But your AFC title game? No way.
Okay, so the last couple of days we've gone over the trade extensively about the cost and who won the trade and all that, and all those sort of various permutations. We haven't really gotten to the big picture question of has it made the Patriots better? How much better does it make the Patriots? Do you look at them differently now with A.J. Brown in the fold than you did previously? How much does it increase their ceiling? What do you now expect from the team? That is today's topic.
Okay.
617-779-0985. Murray, how would you assess that?
I don't think it was completely nuts what he said. Of the two things that he said, the one thing that I do think is lofty is thinking that A.J. Brown's going to end up with 1,500 yards. But the team, despite the easy schedule, did go to the Super Bowl last year, and they have the two most important pieces that you want in terms of foundation of a good team and the coach and the quarterback, right? We all agree with that, I would think. So, yeah, the schedule will be tougher, and they probably won't have as good of a record. But if they were a better team than last year, which I think that they probably will be, especially with A.J. Brown, yeah, they could get back to the AFC Championship game.
It's not. Murray's right. It's not outrageous, okay? But I think it's on the high side.
I'd be surprised if they got back to the AFC title game. I would. I would be really surprised if they got back to that level. I think they're going to have a really tough year. And not because they suck or have gotten worse. I agree with everyone. They've gotten better. I absolutely agree they've gotten better. I mean, the roster, they've upgraded the roster. Do they play at the same level? That's really the question now. I can't tell you if they're going to play at the same level, but the roster's better. There's absolutely... But I think people sort of miss the mark on that. Is that what it's about half the time? I mean, it's obviously important, but it's about health. I mean, remember...
Oh, they were, I think, the healthiest team in the NFL last year.
Right, statistically, which they keep and they track. You were the healthiest team in the league, and by a wide margin for much of it. The whole factor of teams gearing up for you. I mean, it took a long time for the league to catch on to you and take you seriously, and that's a big advantage. You sneak up on teams. You just see it in the league every year. Every year, 4 teams that miss the playoffs make it the next year. 4 teams drop out. I mean, it's just It's going to happen again this year. And so I think it's going to be, and the schedule's a killer. It's just a killer. I think between all of that, you're just going to have a tough time of it. So I think you're better. I do applaud them for being aggressive for a second straight year in the offseason. They were aggressive 2 off seasons ago, and they followed it up with another aggressive offseason, which I would not have predicted. And so I give them credit for it. And I like the direction of the roster. I just don't think it's going to translate wins and losses. And that's just the way it goes sometimes. And this leads us into ESPN also does something called their Football Power Index, which don't ask me what it is or how they do it. I don't care. It's just a jumping off point. And so they have their preseason FPI. And it's just basically ranking the teams. And
where are the Pats, Felger?
Yeah, where are the Pats, Felger?
FPI, huh?
Okay, if you were...
I call this fake problematic information.
If Mazz's preseason FPI, Mazz's FPI, who would be your number 1 team?
Rams.
Okay. The Rams are the number 1 team, according to their FPI.
Yeah, who's 2?
Bills.
Huh?
3 is the Ravens.
Huh?
4 are the Seahawks. 5 are the Niners. 6 are the Green Bay Packers. 7 are the Chargers. 8, Detroit. 9, Kansas City. 10, Philadelphia Eagles.
Where are the Pats?
11, Dallas Cowboys. 12, Cincinnati Bengals. 13, Houston Texans. 14, New England Patriots.
Fake problematic information. There's your FPI, Felga.
Is that being disrespectful of the Patriots?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little.
Because you have 2 teams that I look at as kind of, well, I mean, that proved themselves to be playoff losers that they beat last year. The Chargers and Houston are ahead of them? I mean, come on.
That's insulting.
Yeah.
But I think without having looked at their schedules and taken a deep dive on it, I wouldn't be surprised if those teams had more wins and wound up further along than you. I'd say especially Houston. They play in that ridiculous division.
Worst division in football, or one of the 2 worst.
That's just perennially, those South divisions. So is it possible when you get, and now look, not that your division is, any powerhouse either, but, at least you have 1 team in there. Anyway, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wouldn't surprise me if Houston comes out with more wins and goes farther in the playoffs because they have a home playoff game or whatever. And that wouldn't surprise me one bit. But would I rank them ahead of the Patriots? So I wonder if we're talking about 2 different things. When I see 14, I might project them to be the 14th team, meaning the 7th seed in the AFC. That doesn't sound outrageous to me. I think they're going to struggle to make the playoffs. I think they're going to be a fringe bubble playoff team. And if that means they're the 7th seed in the AFC, that's where I project them, frankly. That's where I think they're going to be. So 14 isn't crazy. But when I put them behind the Chargers, the Texans, the Cowboys, teams like that, what do you think's going on with that, Mazz?
I think that, people look at the Chargers and the who's the other one, the Texans, and say the opposite, that those teams had issues at the end of the year last year that affected their performance. And they're probably going to be a little bit better this year as a result. Look, it's usually, that's how I look at most leagues, with the exception of a handful of teams at the top that are really stacked. And the Rams are obvious. The Rams have obviously added McDuffie and now have added Myles Garrett. So everybody looked at, they probably should have been in the Super Bowl last year based on the talent they had. So it's easy to look at the Rams and say number 1. But more often than not, you look at the teams and say, well, that won't happen again because they overachieved a little bit. They caught a couple of breaks. I do the same thing with the teams that get bounced. C.J. Stroud was a mess at the end of the year, Mike. He had the concussion midway through the year. He was never the same player afterward. They couldn't score. Their defense is still awesome. So I think the handicappers, for lack of a better word, look at it and say, he'll be better this year. Their offense will be better. They'll finish higher, and they'll make a run at it. They won't win it, but they'll be good.
What is Dallas doing ahead of them? They've won 13 games the last 2 years, missing the playoffs both of those years, obviously.
I don't know. So I'm trying. I have the story. I'm just trying to find the.
So you know what I find interesting about this list, real quick?
The criteria, yes.
Who's immediately behind the Patriots?
The teams immediately behind the Patriots, Mazz, are at 15, the Denver Broncos.
Right. So stop right there. And that's the one that caught my eye.
16 Chicago Bears. Go ahead.
Denver was in the AFC Championship game, was the number 1 seed in the conference last year, and lost because their quarterback got hurt. They've also added Waddle. So how are they worse?
I don't know.
And the Bears and the Jaguars. And the Jaguars won that suck division that the Houston Texans are in.
Now, you want to tell me that, the just the little things that are interesting about this list to me. 1, 3, and 5. 1, 4, and 5. Rams, Seahawks, Niners. All in the same division. That division is stacked.
Yeah.
However, Seattle is going to come back to earth a little bit. That team also overachieved a little bit last year. They caught some breaks. And, they got a really good matchup in the Super Bowl, as it turned out. So do I think the Seahawks suck? No. Do I think they're the 5th best team in the league? No, they're too high.
The Patriots are the first team since they started doing this to fall outside of the top 10 a year after making the Super Bowl.
I saw that.
Goodell.
So they've done this to no other team other than you. Why is this, Murray?
Haters. Goodell. Fake propaganda information. There's your FPI, Felger.
They have a section here on the story related to the FPI. Why are the Patriots so low? As we mentioned in the intro, the Patriots are the first team to reach a Super Bowl and be ranked outside the top 10 in the following preseason FPI rankings. But they were also fortunate to make the Super Bowl last season, which is very much tied into their current ranking. So you know what this all goes back to?
Easy schedule.
They think last year's a crock.
Yes. Was last year a crock?
No.
Yes.
Discuss.
Yeah, it was. Yes. You caught a lot of lucky breaks. Yes. So it was inflated. You went 14-3 for crying out loud. It was inflated.
Yeah,
it's
but
okay to say that.
They took advantage of the easy schedule. They were prepared enough and good enough to take advantage of the opportunity that was given to them.
Especially in the playoffs.
Some suck teams can't do that. There's been teams that have had an easy schedule and just maybe eke in and are out in the first round. So, I mean, it is some of them, too. You got to give them some credit.
Yeah, I do give them some credit, but I'm going on.
Doesn't sound like much, Mazz.
Let me tell you what's a crock.
It's not much.
Let me tell you what was a crock. And if you're honest about it, you'll admit it. 14 wins. That wasn't a 14-win team. Come on. And then subsequently, maybe the Super Bowl was a crock. Now, you were a good team. I'm not saying you sucked. But can you be honest about it and say, all things being equal, in a regular year where the other best teams are also firing on all cylinders and all of that where the Patriots were last year?
Yeah, the part to me, so the 14 wins inflated. To me, the biggest crock were the quarterbacks that they faced in the postseason.
Yeah.
The play of the quarterbacks in the postseason.
Unbelievable.
So it's still being, like, for this crap, this doesn't matter unless you care about it. Where you rank on their preseason FPI. But if you care, it's still going back to your schedule last year. The consensus still doesn't believe in you.
It was just a schedule.
They think last year was a crock. And if you think they sucked and just got there on the easy schedule and the quarterback injuries to the other teams, then I think you're missing the mark. You're sorely mistaken. The Pats were a good team last year. I think they're a better team this year. 14 wins in the Super Bowl? It's kind of crocky. Like, come on. That's the whole point of the easy schedule. And everyone is expecting that. For those chickens to come home to roost, Mazz, this year with A.J. Brown. So now we're not talking about A.J. Brown. The thing is, I felt the exact same way last week because I had A.J. Brown on the team the whole time.
Me too.
And I think A.J. Brown's an upgrade from Steph Diggs, for example. But how much a one? Diggs had 1,000 yards. I can't even tell you the touchdowns off the top of my head, but
it was like 85. 85 catches, 1,000 yards, and I want to say he had 4 or 5 touchdowns.
Okay, I would expect A.J. Brown to have more touchdowns, but I disagree with Louis Riddick. I don't think he's going to have 1,500 yards, and I don't know if he's going to be a 100-catch guy. So I think he's a better player than Steph Diggs, obviously, but up and down the field, net, how much more are you going to produce with A.J. Brown than Steph Diggs? I think A.J. Brown
Ceiling.
Romeo Dobbs. No, A.J. Brown, Romeo Dobbs is a much better 1-2 than Steph Diggs.
Booty, maybe.
Call it Booty or
Exactly.
Hollins, whatever.
Right, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would agree.
That 1-2, much better. I'll give you that. Brown singularly over Diggs? He's not going to produce that much more than Diggs.
I don't think so. In fact, if you want to go by this, and their numbers last year were basically the same. I mean, they really were. Again, Diggs had 1,013 yards and 85 catches. I think Brown was like 77 and 1,008. I mean, they were pretty close. I think he's a similar production-wise, similar kind of player.
Okay, so your thoughts on this? 617, are you being disrespected by the algorithm over at ESPN?
Yeah, you know we are.
ESPN loses.
617-779-0985. We're going to get to a lot of stuff today. Mazz's tears.
They're hating us already.
Comes later this hour.
We haven't even played yet.
Blood and Guts, Brian Bayo, another all-timer on the mound.
Unbelievable.
They give him the start today. And, oh, my goodness, this guy. We're going to get to the Red Sox. You can call us on whatever you want, okay? We'll do some NBA Finals stuff, some Red Sox fallout from the kind of Falefa comments the other night. Brian Bayo today. That's all coming. And your calls on whatever you want. 617-779-0985. To you right after this.
Oh, yeah!
Thoughts, calls, emails.
Oh, yeah!
I get my jollies out of it. I do. I'm not a good person. Go ahead.
Felger and Mazz. Oh, yeah! 98.5, the Sports Hub.
Giving up a first-round pick in exchange for A.J. Brown feels like a decision that the Patriots are making when they are letting it be known that essentially they are ready to make a run. I don't like the move as much for the Patriots because ultimately I still think the Patriots have major issues to deal with in the AFC. And that is, I like the Bills with a brand new defensive coordinator in Jim Leonhard. I like them more than the Patriots. I think the Patriots got very fortunate last year with the schedule they were able to play. I think they were certainly ahead of the overall trend line. Drake May made a huge jump in year 2, but I still think if you look at the Bills, if you assume that the Chiefs are going to be back, I love the Kenneth Walker addition for the Chiefs, and you presume that Patrick Mahomes is going to be healthy again. I just don't think the moment is now for the New England Patriots. I don't even think the Patriots are the best team in their division. I understand the move. I think they are a little bit ahead of where they are in terms of being able to win a championship. If I have to rank the overall impact, I like Myles Garrett and what he's going to represent for the Rams more than I like what A.J. Brown is going to represent.
Billy and Rainham, your thoughts?
I agree. We just upgraded slightly, but if you look at the schedule, it's not just hard. It's one of the toughest schedules in the past couple of years, if not at least the hardest right now out of any team. So that's my thought.
Yeah, so the schedule isn't ranked higher than others, but when I look at it, I just say, I don't know if it's the hardest. I don't care where it ranks. It's just effing hard. I just think you got a hard schedule.
Yeah, good opponents. You're going to face a tall task.
And I think the way it lays out, Phil Perry was talking last night, said he thinks there are some favors in there. I don't know. I don't know how many favors you have in there. And then this isn't really schedule related, but it's ancillary. And that is everyone's gunning for you, which is the big thing. It's like the whole vibe of these games are going to be different every week. And the injury luck is another thing, which does sort of tie to schedule. The tougher games you're playing, the more of those games that you're in back to back to back to back, it's hard to come out of them on the other side. I think that's all going to be a factor for the Patriots this year. Gary in the car. Go ahead, Gary.
Yes, I'd like to ask, I've been listening to the discussion, and I'm curious, since the Patriots surprised everybody with a easy schedule, which of the lower-ranked teams do you think might be the ones that could surprise everybody this coming season?
Right, so we asked this the other day. It was one of the questions we asked. If for 35 straight years, it's just an incredible stat, 35 straight years in the NFL, at least 4 teams that missed the playoffs the previous year make it the next year.
Yep.
And 4 drop out. 4. So we asked this, and I remember I, for example, had the Saints.
Yep. Same, so did I.
Who I think blow, but they play in the division last year. Did Carolina win at 8-9 or 9-8?
8-9.
8-9. So it doesn't take much to win the NFC South. And New Orleans has one of the easiest schedules in the league. And they've got a new program there, and they're building a little something. Whatever. I mean, I don't know. It's like that. A team like that comes out of the woodwork every year.
What's clear based on these ESPN FPI, these fake problematic information stats, that this applies to the Ravens. The Ravens didn't make the playoffs last year.
Correct.
And they have them, third, I think, on that list? So they expect them to certainly be a better team and make the playoffs this year with a new coach.
They were one of the ones I picked. I
Same.
think the Ravens are going to be better than they were. Cincinnati had a really bad year. I don't think that's obviously they lost Burrow again. So I don't think that's an unreasonable team to look at and say they could be better.
Well,
their schedule's easy.
I mean, just look at it like this. This is another break that you got. You go through the year and through the playoffs, and the AFC obviously has a big four, power four. Allen, Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and
Burrow.
And now, so it's like you didn't have to deal with any of that. Baltimore, KC missed the playoffs, and Cincinnati. One of those three teams is going to come back, don't you think?
Right, and also Jackson didn't play when you played them. Burrow didn't play when you played them. So, they caught, the only guy they ran into there was Allen.
Well, I'm just saying, so the caller asks, who are going to be the teams that emerge? Well, I'd say you can book Cincinnati, KC, and Baltimore. One of those three, right?
Yes, definitely.
I mean, you want to say the window's closed on KC? I don't believe it, but okay, maybe. You want to say the window is closed on Baltimore? Maybe. Say that Cincinnati does have a chance. Maybe all three? All three of those all-time quarterbacks, all three of those teams are done. I don't think so. One of them's going to be there.
At least.
It's Sean in Salem. Go, Sean.
Yeah, I could care less with the amount of yards A.J. Brown has. It's all relative. If they're always trailing in games, then his numbers will be inflated. What I care about is, can he fix the red zone passing issues from last year and rack up the touchdowns, almost like Adams was for the Rams last year? And that would be much more impactful than a 1,500-yard passing season.
Right, the yards, I'm with you.
No, he's right about the red zone.
You said Diggs had 4 touchdowns last year?
4, yeah.
Like to see A.J. Brown double that.
Yeah, he should be. He got to be closer to 10, right? And I don't think he may not get to 10, but I agree. Should be one every other game. I mean, it should be 7 or 8 touchdowns at a minimum. You got to get that. And he could help them down there because there's not a lot of space, and his strength will be a factor down there.
Stephen Winthrop, your thoughts?
Yeah, I was thinking about Garrett, Myles Garrett. Didn't he have games where he had 5 or 6 sacks, but the team lost by double digits?
Yes.
Isn't it close to 6 or 7 games?
Yes, you were one of them.
Yeah, I don't get it. Everybody's making a big deal. He can have all the sacks he wants, but the team's got to win still.
Well, now he's on a good team.
Right. So you don't think, Jack, or Steve, that him being on a good team is going to translate more?
Well, listen, what's the receiver's name that they got in the 5th round there? Didn't he have a drug problem come near the end of the year?
Puka Nacua went to rehab, yes.
Yeah, okay.
So
then you had the other guy that was injured.
With
Devontae
They're
Adams.
already booking.
Yep.
Stafford had a bad shoulder.
Yep.
Not the throwing shoulder, but he had a bad shoulder.
Yep.
I mean, all these things add up, especially Stafford. He's old now. He's 36, right?
So they
Or
suck.
37?
Well, no, listen, these are legit
I
questions.
didn't say that. I didn't say they suck, but everybody's given them the title already. It's like, hold your horses here.
They're just a preseason favorite, Jack.
They got nothing but old guys, junkies, and losers.
I'll tell you. This is also one of my favorite things for Patriots fans. No one else can be good.
Yeah, no, you got to tear down the opposition.
No one else can be good.
Yeah.
No one else.
What's Allen ever won?
Every other GM is stupid. No other team, no one else can be good. You can never say anything nice about the opposing team, the opposing coach, Howie Roseman, or Sean McVay. When the Patriots are good, no one else. No, you can't say anything nice about anyone else. And anyone else who's ranked higher than you has holes. I love that. I mean, I love it because it's so easy and it's just so predictable. But we're already getting it.
Mahomes ain't that good.
But
let's see how many he wins after 30 like Brady did.
But I don't think it's unfair to say Nacua has some personal problems that he's working through, and Matthew Stafford is old, and Devontae Adams is getting old, and I think that's all fair. The thing I disagree with him on is that just because Myles Garrett didn't translate to wins in Cleveland, I think you're making a mistake. I think a guy like that on a team that's in a lot of close games has much, listen, so Myles Garrett the 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, has a big sack on the quarterback. What does it matter when the Cleveland Browns are losing by 17 points? The Rams are in a one-possession game. It's a 3rd and 7. Got to have it for the opposition, and Myles Garrett gets a sack in the same situation. You don't think that is much easier for it to lead to a win in that spot versus the Cleveland Browns?
Definitely.
So come on. Use your head on that. Jack in the car. Go ahead, Jack. I said Jack in the car. You're up next.
Listen, I hear you talking about Drake May. Drake May will never in his life be Jarrett Stidham. Jarrett Stidham.
Okay, thank you for the call. We're going to Mazz's Tears comes later up in the program. There are open lines at 617-779-0985. Back to you after Big Jim Murray gets you up. How'd Brian Bayo do today?
Not particularly well.
They gave him the start. So, because says he's ready for it. So he got the ball in the first inning. How did that go? You'll find out here in the update, and we come back and discuss.
Now, more of Felger and Mazz on the Sports Hub.
We got Christian in Marblehead. Go ahead, Christian.
Hey, how we doing?
Good, man.
I was calling. I know, obviously, huge fan. Love Drake May. It's gotten pretty big this offseason. I'm just trying to see your guys' thoughts on just with how the quarterbacks have been in the years past with having these kind of breakout second years or second years. Do you think Drake this year is going to be kind of stagnated out, obviously schedule aside, or do you guys think he's going to be kind of going above and beyond what these other guys are doing?
So I don't know how you could go schedule aside. I mean, why, these things aren't in a vacuum. The Pats can be better. They can be more talented. Drake May can take a step forward, and it could all translate to fewer wins and less deep run in the playoffs. You can't take out the schedule.
No, you can't.
And the teams that you're playing, and now all the tape that's out on you and all the success that you had, everyone knows what you did well and how you did it. And you're going to have to, they're all going to have an answer for you. And you're going to have to have an answer to the answer. And you can't take that stuff out. That's my analysis. If you played the exact same schedule as last year, with the opponents treating you as they did last year, as a bum team that no one was expecting anything from, I would expect the exact same season. But you're not going to get that. So I don't mean to yell at the caller, but it's like you can't take that out of the equation. That's the whole game. That's the whole thing. It's you. I mean, I guess there are some teams, the Patriots, when they were really humming with Brady and Belichick. I guess it didn't matter what the schedule was or what when you're so good and so much better than everyone, then that stuff doesn't matter. I'm sorry, I don't think you're there.
Oh, they're definitely not there. But I'll tell you, they might have one thing going in their favor, and it's a big if. But if their O-line is a lot better, again, if Campbell has stabilized, and it was because of the knee and everything, and Vera Tucker stays healthy, they might be pretty good.
No, I think their offensive line has upgraded.
Yeah, that could really make a difference because all the pressure, I shouldn't say all of it, but the large majority of it came from that left side. I mean, Drake May was under siege in the playoffs. So, and I would say even during the regular season at times, he was under siege. It wasn't as bad. But if that thing shores up, then they could be pretty good.
Cameron in New Hampshire, comment line, Mazz's reaction to John Henry's comments.
It's got to be the ones that Ortiz was talking about, I think.
Cameron in New Hampshire, did John Henry spoken?
It was about 10 days ago or so, but he said, when I arrived in Boston 25 years ago, I was told if you win the World Series in Boston, you'll never have to buy another drink in this town. It turns out it doesn't work that way. I just want to know Mazz's reaction to that.
Okay. That was, he got an award or something? Or
Yeah, Sports Business Journal, I think it was.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and so I would say, well, it doesn't work that way when you're the owner and you finish last 6 times. So, had the run been good and consistent, then you'd be treated a little bit more like, say, the Crafts, who had a long extended run and didn't finish last all those years, whether they're local or not. But I would say from the team has collapsed in the last 8 years, 7 years, call it what you want. They've collapsed. So, yeah, that's right. That comment reminded me a little of the one that Belichick made when someone said, why should we have faith in you? And he said, I don't know, the last 25 years?
Yeah.
Well, what's that got to do with anything? So what? Just because you had a good run, now you don't have to produce anymore? Is that the deal? Like it pisses everybody off when players do it and say, "Well, I won the MVP. What more do you want?"
Do you think Henry was whining?
I do a little bit.
Probably a little bit, yeah.
I'm not sure if he was. I mean, I didn't get out of hear the tone with it. I mean, it's kind of a quip, and it's.
How dare they hate me now? I brought them championships.
But I'm sure part of him does feel that way. Like, you hadn't won a world championship. We came in, we won 4 of them, and now all you people do is yell at me to sell the team. Well, okay, but also the team has collapsed. So had you maintained a level of play and performance during that period of time, people wouldn't be as angry as it. That people are always going to bitch when you don't win. Okay, but when you lose, that's something different.
Yeah, and when you lose the way that they do and the way that they handle this team now and run it the last 5 years, it feels like a scam. Great, thanks for those championships, and you invested and you cared. Now it feels like you're running a scam on this city where people really care about sports. So what do you think it's going to be? Oh, all well and good because you won championships before? No, people are right to be pissed about this now.
Jared Carabas. Okay, Jared Carabas.
Corporate Carabas?
Said a week ago.
Lesson boy?
The Red Sox have nobody in the organization. We have the cut. It's because you were out last week, right?
I was.
So I just forget which week it was. He made a comment to the effect of they have nobody in the organization whose focus is entirely, squarely, 100% on the Red Sox. Jared Carabas said that, and he's right. So Craig Breslow has to go to Sam Kennedy or John Henry, and those guys have their hands in a lot of other cookie jars. So the fact of the matter is they don't have anybody whose singular focus from a corporate standpoint, whose singular focus is the success and health and well-being of the Red Sox. They don't have it.
Okay, we'll do much more Red Sox coming up when the game goes final. Next, Mazz's Tears.
Mazz's Tears.
And the A.J. Brown trade, it'll be adjacent to the A.J. Brown trade. Be trade-related tears coming your way in a long commercial-free segment next.
Boston's best sports talk. You can count on it.
2 plus 2 is a 5.
Me sento un po' pacchiato perché Roma
Felger and Mazz.
le usanze.
Bernardi Auto, they've got Audis, Hondas, and Toyotas. They are the ones who sponsor who Mazz thinks is a fraud and who's for real. Mazz's Tears.
Yeah, those are the tears of the clown.
Mazz's Tears. Let me get my pen.
Second tier.
Hold on, let me get my pen. Mazz's Tears.
Dallas. Buffalo. Tennessee.
Mazz's Tears.
Third tier.
Okay, here we go. Hold on, let me get my pen. Mazz's Tears. 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 All right. It's that time of the week. Once again, Mazz's Tears brought to you by our longtime sponsor of the segment, the Bernardi Automotive Group. When it comes to auto dealers, the Bernardi Auto Group always finishes first, top tier, 1A with Mazz. That's because they sell and service Acura, Audi, Honda, Toyota, and Volvo. Bernardi for now, Bernardi for life. Find them now at BernardiAutoGroup.com. Mazz, what do you got this week?
Okay, so here's what we're going with, and I want people to listen closely.
Listen!
Huh?
Listen closely. These are failed trade acquisitions.
Interesting.
Failed trade acquisitions.
Interesting choice of topic.
And the key word is acquisition. We're not looking for bad trades. For example, what we're trying to avoid, Murray, is Mookie Betts. Yeah, that wasn't an acquisition. That was a salary dump. Okay, Rafael Devers, salary dump. Joe Thornton. In other words, there were certain deals that were contract-driven that you obviously didn't get much back for because you were dumping the money. You didn't want to pay the player, whatever.
No, go ahead.
That's not the deal we're looking for.
A player you actually wanted.
Targeted. Right. A player that you actually wanted. Could be a minor deal, could be a major deal. But it's about what you were getting, not what you were sending.
Thank you.
Capiche?
The suck return.
Understood.
Suck return. There you go. You got it.
No, not really, Murray. I didn't know that you missed the mark. It's
right. It's more about what you were trying to get.
Right. Like, you weren't trying to get Marco Sturm for Joe Thornton. That was just the return.
Bingo.
You wanted Well, some names that'll land on this list.
Right. So I'll give you an example. Like when we were exchanging emails.
Mookie Betts is another good one.
Yeah.
You didn't want Verdugo. It's just
that's what you had to take.
You wanted to deal the contract and you wanted to get rid of David Price, and that's the best you could do coming back. But you didn't target any singular of those players.
Exactly right. And just to get again, we were exchanging emails this morning. Someone put the name Louis Erickson on the list. Louis Erickson was in the Sagan deal. No, he doesn't qualify.
You didn't target Louis Erickson. You didn't want Louis Erickson. You wanted to get Tyler Sagan out of your building.
Correct. So the purpose of that deal was something else. So we're looking for guys that you obtained that did not live up to the hype.
Now do you understand, Murray?
Yes. So Vaughn Grissom would not be on this list.
Correct.
Very good.
Okay.
Correct. Would not be on the list is right. So tier 3. Tier 3. We'll start with tier 3. Where's the music? I need music. I can't do it without music.
The whole bit is the song.
Definitely. Wilfredo Cordero. What a disaster that was.
You wanted this guy?
They wanted him at the time. Yeah, he was good. I mean, it was another deal with Montreal after the Pedro Martinez deal. Everyone thought he was going to hit. Domestic abuse issues never really panned out. See you later. Kevin Stevens with the Bruins.
Was a trade, not a free agent?
Correct. That was a trade. He was, and again, I put him tier 3 because it was late in his career. The expectations weren't super high, but he was a complete total.
What did the Bees give up? Was that?
Oh gosh, I don't remember.
Was it McEachern?
Was it?
They got McEachern in the deal.
He came in the deal.
McEachern came in the deal.
Correct.
Brian
McEachern came in that
Smolinski
deal.
and Glenn Murray went to Pittsburgh.
I was going to say Smolinski, I thought. Okay, go ahead.
So here is one that
McEachern was better than Stevens.
Here's one that's on my list. Coney Ealy from the Carolina Panthers. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
Yes.
After Carolina went to this, Coney Ealy had a great Super Bowl.
3 sacks in that Super Bowl. Had Carolina won it, he was going to be the MVP.
He was a force, and the Patriots traded a second-round pick for him.
That's right.
He sucked. I don't think he even made the team out of camp, if I remember right. They cut him. That was the end of Coney Ealy. Michael Bennett, another one the Patriots acquired.
That was a trade.
That was a trade. They got
Martellus, you mean?
No, Michael.
The defensive lineman?
The defensive lineman. I will look it up. And
They got him?
Yes. Don't you remember?
No.
When?
You don't remember them getting Michael Bennett?
I remember Martellus.
He had the argument with the defensive line coach.
Oh, Bielma.
Yeah, Bielma.
Brett Bielma.
Bielma. Yeah, and then he disappeared after week 8 and never came back.
Boy, I have wiped that from my memory.
Oh, yeah, no, Michael Bennett. Yeah, Michael Bennett was here for a little while.
Very good.
That one didn't pan out. And I put this guy on the list, Brandon Cooks.
Oh, yeah, no, he sucked.
Okay, he was here 1 year. He had 1,000 yards. And then they traded him out and got the first-round pick back. I think he was a complete waste of time.
Empty calories.
Name me the most memorable thing he did as a Patriot.
Getting hurt in the Super Bowl.
His head taken off in the Super Bowl.
Exactly. That's what I remember, too. He was a guy who, ran around, didn't know where he was going, and somehow ended up with 1,000 yards. I thought that was a complete waste of time, that particular trade. So that's tier 3. Okay, tier 2. Again, as we get higher, the names will get a little bit bigger. Jeff Green. From Jimmy, that was Oklahoma City, was it not? When they traded Kendrick Perkins and got Jeff Green?
It was, yes.
Okay, now again, this was sort of this was a controversial deal at the deadline. The Celtics could have won the championship that year, and not having Kendrick Perkins and having Jeff Green. What did Shaughnessy call him? Like the Gandhi of the NBA? Peaceful resistance.
Peaceful resistance.
Rick Nash, Bruins got him in a midseason deal.
Killed him.
Yeah, he was brutal. Absolutely brutal.
And concussed.
Well, that's right, too. Yeah, there was an injury there as well. Byung-Hyun Kim, Red Sox acquired a closer.
Oh, my God.
In 2003, Byung-Hyun Kim from the Arizona Diamondbacks was supposed to solve all their bullpen problems and made it worse. Mohamed Sanu, second-round pick.
What a waste.
Given up, was totally useless. Now, he also got hurt, did he not?
Yeah.
Did he wrench his knee or something, Murray?
It was the game against the Eagles in December that year.
And wasn't it on like a special teams?
It was, yeah. They had him as a return man, which I think he hadn't really done since he was at Rutgers, if I recall correctly.
But they gave up a second-rounder for Mohamed Sanu, which I would tell you is worse than giving up a first for A.J. Brown.
Huh.
Jim Carey, goaltender that they acquired from the Washington Capitals. This was in the early 90s, Mike, right?
Yeah,
early to mid-90s?
Is this when they shipped Byron Dafoe?
And it was Adam Oates was in that deal as well.
Oh, my God. Okay, go ahead.
And they got Jim Carey, who was with the Bruins for a year tops, I think, and completely sucked. So you remember that better than I do.
I'm just trying to remember what the parameters of the trade were. Adam Oates, Rick Tocchet, Bill Ranford to the Capitals for goaltender Jim Carey, Anson Carter, and Jason Allison. That was actually a good trade. Carter and Allison were good for you. Jim Carey was a complete disaster.
Disaster was right. He was horrible. Absolutely horrible.
It's one of Harry's last big swings, I want to say.
And not Betts, Butts.
Huh?
Marion Butts, running back with the Chargers that Bill Parcells traded for in the mid-'90s. And with the Chargers, Marion Butts was the equivalent of like a Jerome Bettis.
He was
with
a
Pittsburgh.
bum.
He was a moose, but he came here and
Yeah.
he sucked.
2 yards in a cloud of dust.
Completely useless. Useless running back. I couldn't tell you one contribution he made to the Patriots. He was absolute garbage. All right, tier one. Tier one's the big ones.
Worst trade acquisitions.
Kyrie Irving, number one, top of the list.
Brutal.
Hands down in a runaway, not even close. It turned out to be a complete disaster. Probably cost Danny Ainge his job. And the Celtics amazingly recovered from it and to win a championship. And it looked like Brooklyn was going to win before the Celtics did. But as it turns out, the Celtics won a championship first. Thomas Caberlet.
Oh, yeah.
Had been rumored to join the Bruins forever. They finally made the trade. And their Stanley Cup season, they won the cup, but not because of him. He was terrible.
Useless.
Caleb Durbin.
Already tier one.
Already tier one.
I'm sorry. Today, right now, tier one. The Brewers look like they have a Cy Young candidate in Kyle Harrison. Durbin has been garbage. Ally Afraidy, defenseman that the Bruins acquired, was supposed to solve a lot of their backline problems. Stunk with the Bruins. Eric Gagne, closer, who joined the Red Sox as his setup man. I believe that was 2007. They won the World Series anyway. Now, quick story about this. The Red Sox did the projection on this, and that even if Gagne pitched badly, they would still qualify for a compensation pick in the first round of the draft as long as he didn't completely suck. He completely sucked and they didn't get the pick. Chad Johnson, otherwise known as Ocho Cinco, again, just completely useless here. That was a bad one as well. And this one, a little underrated. Mike, you might remember more than most. The Patriots gave up a first-round pick for Dwayne Starks.
I don't know. It was a first-round pick.
It was a swap. I believe it was a first that went to the Giants for Starks and a third.
No way.
Yep, according to what I read. I'll double-check it. But it was a pick swap, and Starks was horrible.
Useless.
For the Patriots, and never panned out whatsoever.
Okay. Worst trade acquisitions, which we're not including Trevor Linden. Do I have that right? Does Trevor Linden come back for Ray Bork? Trevor Linden. No, not Trevor Linden.
Brian Ralston.
No, who was the... No, God, Trevor Linden. He was actually good.
He was on the Canucks.
Who am I thinking of? Hold on. Why did I say Trevor Linden? It's not Trevor Linden.
Who is it you're thinking of?
I don't know who the hell I was thinking of. That was just like I had a momentary stroke. The Ray Bork trade.
Brian Ralston was part of that.
Okay, but that's not who I was thinking of. Good God, that's so bad.
I know.
While you were looking that up,
the Bruins got Martin Grenier, Sammy Paulson, and Brian Ralston. Why did I say Trevor? Why did I say that? Anyway, we're not talking about Martin Grenier or Sammy Paulson. You were trying to get Ray Bork to a Stanley Cup contender, and it just happened to be that was the incidental return. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about players you actually wanted. Worst of all time. What did we miss? What did we screw up? 617-779-0985 to you after Murray's 90-second update. No commercials.